Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Sequester podcast. We are going over season 4, episode 2. And since I start other podcasts with ups and downs, I want to first know who went down for you in this episode.
I guess Spencer went down.
Why Spencer?
I don't know. I was hoping you were going to share yours, and then I was just going to think of some good reasons as we.
Okay, well, for me, it's a toss-up. One of them is Rachel because she was terrible detective, so I feel like she just made herself look bad at times. And the other one was actually Brent because he was also a mess, annoying people and making himself the big target that he already is.
Yeah. Well, I guess I almost said Brent too, but then I didn't because I feel like Brent is already so obnoxious and disliked that like it's pretty hard for him to like move out of that position. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's any lower. I mean, what's beyond being disliked? You know what I'm saying?
I
And
feel like
really,
this was the episode he became more disliked.
it's true. I think it depends on how you look at it. Like, I think he's gone up a little bit because he's at least Katie is gone, so he has that target off of his back now.
True.
But yeah, Brent put himself in some hot water this episode. I will agree with that.
Did you think of a reason why Spencer was down?
I guess the reason why I said Spencer initially was just because I feel like with him almost being the vote, he was sent to exile, as he said. He was, on the kill list. I feel like he's just not in a good situation. And he escaped this elimination, but I don't think that he'll escape anymore. So he's either got to be the person that, lucks up and gets put in these positions to be safe, or he's out.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna talk about the whole Rachel thing because I think that's really interesting too. I feel like Rachel is also in a position like Brent where, yes, this wasn't her best episode, but I also feel like she is so much of a non-threat that no one's really gonna care. No one's gonna have a vendetta against her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I just feel like overall she was inept in this episode.
Absolutely. But I mean, like, did we really expect Rachel to be a good detective?
No. I knew from the moment she was chosen that she wasn't gonna be.
Yeah. And like it's so disappointing because her choices were so bad. They were just so bad. I mean, like the way that the leaders and the detectives were chosen was like by chance, right?
Yeah.
So like you had the entire cast to pick from. Like, what are the odds that like Katie gets picked? And like just the fact that she was going after these heavy hitters, I felt like, I mean, I guess their chances were all equal, but I felt like for me, I would have probably thrown Billy out just to like say fuck it and throw caution to the wind because it's like it could be anyone,
Yeah, well, we'll get to that when we get there because there was a reason I think she didn't choose Billy.
Okay.
Who went up for you this week?
So the person that went up for me also, I almost said it went down, which is Billy. Billy had a fantastic episode up until the last 5 minutes. And
yep. I don't even know if that hurt her enough, but we'll get into that too.
You don't think so? I don't know. I mean, Natalie, she's from Minnesota. They be out here wild in Minnesota, apparently. I think we've seen that this summer, that, Minnesotans are a little crazy. So I think this may have lit a fire under her ass. And I don't think I think it's bad I know we're going to get into it, but I think it's bad for Billy because Billy went from being completely under the radar, everybody's friend, to now she at least has one enemy in the game. And that's not good.
But I think I also once again have two people, but I also had Billy up because she showed that she can just stay under the radar and pull some strings. That's why I don't think she's too in trouble yet.
Yeah.
My also up, even though he wasn't as prominent in this episode as the first episode, is Jacob, only because he's such a huge target and yet got no votes against him at the end. His social game is great. It just is.
His alliance, he's insulated by his alliance. Yeah. And it's so funny because his alliance is so fucking fake and like non-existent, but like he somehow is protected by it. It's very weird because like Marcelo is like, oh, I'm really now kind of working with Katie, and Katie's my snake, and Muna's not too sure about their alliance, and it's like the weird alliance that's not an alliance, but they all did what they were supposed to do for their ally. So I don't know, it's very weird.
I think it works because of Jacob's social game, at least for him anyway.
So you think that Jacob is the only person in that alliance that actually has an alliance with the
Yes,
people?
I actually think so.
I mean, you're right because I mean we saw it. We saw it this episode. So yeah.
Well, we'll go ahead and start with Josh coming off his victory, and he is going to. People didn't know who he was, and he's going to show them who he is now. How did you feel about his newfound confidence and him getting an LOS, which could be big in the future?
Yeah, Josh said, if you don't know about me, you're gonna have to fucking ask about me, okay? He said y'all gonna put some respect on his name.
I think I've heard that before.
I know. He ain't having it, okay? He ain't fucking having it. I'm here for it. I am here for these new players getting their stripes, getting their street cred. I hope that now that he has shown people that he's not one to be fucked with, he'll calm it down a bit, He'll relax a bit. He needs to cool off with Brent. He needs to back away from that. And I think he needs to just go back under the radar. Like now he's shown, like, don't fuck with me because I'm about that life, as much as Josh can be about that life. But like now's the time to back away from it. You disagree?
I don't know if he. I don't disagree. I just don't know if he can do that. He comes off in a way that is just. I don't even know how to explain it, but he comes off in a way that he's not going to be able to fall under the radar.
He's very New York. He's very New York, and after like years in the Northeast, it's kind of exhausting, and it actually makes me kind of not like him. It's just because he's very, I mean, like he's a good player, but like he's very New York. He's so like he talks really fast. He's in your face. He's a close talker. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Josh. So I actually really hope that he relaxes, but I think you're right. I think that Northeastern, like fast paced, I don't think he can, especially now that he's got some momentum.
Is that why him and Brent get along? Because Brent's very in your face as well, clearly.
Can two people like that get along?
Probably not for too long. But like they're kind of boxed in now. People are already seeing them as this duo.
That was actually interesting because they made this like public declaration of like, oh, I'll throw his ass out the minute it's convenient. And I'm like, I actually didn't know what to make of that because I didn't know if they were being serious or because I don't know if I missed a discussion where they said something like, oh, we should downplay this, or like, are they actually willing to sell each other out? And like, did people buy it?
That's a good question. I don't know if it was planned or if it was just their natural instinct to like get it off them.
So was it the truth then? Are they willing to sell each other under the boat, or are they just were they both on the same page about it?
I don't know. I think they would. I think Brent would be willing to sell.
Right.
And honestly, Josh Byer would too. Because why would he not sell Brent under the river if he had to?
Right. I mean, it's not like their relationship was ever founded in anything pure. It was founded on the basis of a threat. Like, you vote me in, I'm taking your ass in the battle back. So I think on that alone, why would you want to work with someone that literally threatened you and now you're like the best friends?
Speaking of Brent and like weird threats, what were your thoughts on him and Katie and him trying to make a deal with Katie where, if she gets put in, she could choose him and then he'll choose her? What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I didn't understand what the fuck kind of quick maths Brent was out there doing. He was reminding me of Patty, and I think Katie played it right. She just said, okay, Brent, and then just fucking left. Because, I mean, it's a very childlike mentality, like she said, where you're like, okay, like we'll let you live in whatever the fucking world you live in. Because I don't know how I didn't get it at all. I didn't understand any of it. I don't understand what the benefit is of taking her in. So like, are you
get it either.
or not? Like, Brent.
I think Brent is going so fast that he doesn't know what he's doing sometimes. Like he has all these strategies and he's trying to do them all at once or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll get into, well, actually, there was also, I think it was Josh and Shireen. Do you think they could be a good alliance?
I'm so fucking tired of Shireen. I don't like Shireen. I'm like Marcella. I don't like Shireen. I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure she seems like an actually like genuinely nice person, but within the game, I wish she would just own up to the snake shit that she does. Like, you're a snake, Shireen. Fucking stop. You're a snake, okay? You are the one that planted the fucking target on Josh to begin with. So, like, please stop trying to pretend that you're some spiritual in the game, some spiritual, energetic I feel people's chakras. Like, no, stop. Fucking stop. It's a game. Stop.
I feel like she was the same on Survivor. I didn't like her first season, so I barely remember it, but I feel like she was very, like, she did have some miserable people on her tribe that were assholes, so she was like a victim at times, but she also was like sneaky there too and just didn't own up to it.
Did she win her season?
She was like fifth place.
Oh, that's right. And then you said she got voted out the second time, like pretty early on, right?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god! I couldn't imagine being on an island with her ass. I'd be like, look, man, take your fucking chakras and your goddamn crystals and get the fuck on with that. I'm not doing that. She's annoying.
So we touched upon it a little bit, but the whole twist this week was the killer and detective twist. It's a bit mafia-like, but what were your thoughts overall on the twist? And we talked about it, but what were your thoughts on Billy and Rachel?
I'm gonna be honest. I still don't fully understand the game. I just genuinely I didn't get the game. I really didn't get it. I mean, like I got that you had to the detective had to find it, and if the detective didn't, then ultimately the detective would go in, and if they got found, the killer would go in. But I didn't understand the strategy behind it of like how you as the I understood how the killer should play it, but I didn't understand how the detective should. I didn't understand it. I really just didn't get it.
It's definitely a way harder game for the detective because they have so many possibilities to really choose from.
Right. So it's exactly. It seemed to me like the detective was just inherently fucked, right? Like,
I mean, yeah and no, because Rachel should have just probably told people earlier that she was the detective.
I'm not gonna sit there. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and out and say I'm the detective, and then have if everyone's bringing you information, how do you make sense of it?
Well, because everybody should be telling the truth except the killer, in theory. Because nobody else knows who the killer is either, so like they could be in danger of being killed.
I think that the game boiled down to like sheer luck. Like all it took was Rachel just throwing caution to the wind and just throwing out a name.
Yeah, and what I was gonna say earlier about why I think she didn't choose Billy because they touched upon a little is that they're in an alliance, so I don't think she would have suspected Billy.
Right. Wasn't there a strategy though of no? What I remember Rachel saying something about there was like or someone said that there was a strategy where what if the killer and the detective are in an alliance? I didn't get that. I think that was what confused me. So what would have been the strategy there?
Well, I just got from that that's why Rachel was not going to figure out it was Billy because they were in an alliance, so she's not going to think about Billy.
Right. When the fuck did Rachel and Billy make an alliance? I
I
missed
guess it
that.
was one of the many quick alliances made in the first episode. There was like 20 alliances made in the first episode.
That's why, like, this game is just it's a little too much for me. It is like everyone's too much. Everyone's on 20 all the time, and it goes so quickly. And I think I'm a little on the fence about that part. But as far as Billy's performance, I think she played it beautifully. I think she played it beautifully. I think that she just really leveraged her position in the game, which is to just be under the radar and to be there and be likable. Very Aspen. She literally reminds me of Aspen. She's just very likable.
Yeah, I agree. Um, let's
Sorry,
cover.
it's wrong to compare Billy and Aspen because
I mean, I was thinking about that. I don't want to compare the two black gay girls, but they're also very crazy similar.
it is not even. I mean, if the fucking shoe fits, wear it. I mean, I know it probably sounds really bad to like compare Aspen and Billy for like obvious reasons, but like, no, literally, they're like freakishly similar. And if the fucking shoe fits, wear it. They both have like wicked fucking social games and know how to play under the radar. People like them, and it works. I mean, I really have Billy. I have Billy to take this if she keeps it up. I do.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that. We'll see how she gets through this first bump in the road, which we'll talk about. But her choices at first were Natalie and Spencer and Brent. What were your thoughts on her choosing Natalie and Spencer? Probably good choices for her because they're like easy choices.
Yeah, I think those are great choices. The Natalie choice, I don't get her gripe with Natalie. I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll get into it like you said, but I just yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do think that it was a good kind of like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like, what's the, people were like, well, if the killer, if the killer sees Spencer in this, and like people are trying to connect dots that really just aren't there, that they aren't aware of. So I do think that from a strategic point, picking Natalie was a good idea. But I mean, like, I don't know. I don't get her issue with Natalie to begin with.
And then she changed Brent to Jacob to throw people off further, which was also good.
Yeah. Did she do that because she knew that Jacob was going to be the nomination by Rachel, or did she literally just say, "Fuck it, let's throw him"?
I don't really remember.
Hmm. It was a good idea. I mean, I think it would have been equally effective putting in Brent or Jacob. I don't think anyone would have suspected her. So it's either or. It doesn't make a difference.
I agree. During all this going on, what did you think about Marcelo and Katie's conversation? I think it made Katie more likable, honestly, compared to the first episode.
Why is that?
I don't know. I liked their conversation. Katie could have been a good ally with Marcelo, I think.
I don't remember too much of their conversation. The only thing I remember about it is just that Marcelo said, "Oh, Katie's a snake, but she's my snake," and I was just kind of like, "Oh, okay." Like both fucking fake. Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't lie.
They were fake because they both agreed to Natalie, but then he eventually didn't vote for her.
Yeah, they would. They couldn't even keep their alliance together. Like their alliance was 35 minutes, and then it crumbled. So yeah, whatever.
Also, another person that actually had a good episode was Brendan. I think he showed some strategy this week compared to the first week. He didn't do any weird shit this week. He just was himself.
Yeah, Brendan is actually a very likable person. Like he was like the scene where Brent shoved Brendan out of the room. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like he needs to relax." And then he's like, "It's fucking jabroni. I don't care which one of these jabronis go." So I think Brendan, he's a cool dude, and I'm glad that he's trying to let go of this whole hipster act and just like actually play the fucking game.
I agree. He's playing now, and I think that's best for him rather than just sew up some fake persona to try and fly under the radar.
Yeah, and he's not. You can tell that he's not someone that is lost in the game like he was going to try and play. So like, yeah, you understand what the fuck is happening and use that to your benefit. Be an asset to people when you can. Don't be somebody that's just a Rachel. Like Rachel really is fucking lost. You can't play that role of being lost, Brendan. So I'm glad that he, like you said, came into his own.
Also, during all this, Shireen wanted Spencer out because she feels like Spencer will come for her. Do you think he would come for her?
Who the fuck's thinking about Shireen except for Shireen? Who's thinking about her other than maybe Katie?
I feel like they should be thinking about her, but they're not. They must be. I mean, there's a couple different people feeling that way about Spencer and this vote. I feel like,
That Spencer's after them?
I guess.
I think Spencer just wants to stay in the game, okay? Like he said, no one's giving him a chance to even that fucking speech. Really, I didn't even know how I felt about it. He was like, "You guys aren't giving me the opportunity to
Oh my
play,"
god, I thought it was ridiculous.
and I'm like, "Well, bro, that's not how this works, right? Like, nobody's gonna give you like if you're not getting the chance to
I know.
play, that's how that works. That's how it's supposed to fucking work, okay? So relax. You're not entitled, Katie number two, to the game, okay?" But Yeah, I don't know. I think poor fucking Nick Jonas. I think he's just trying to stay alive. I don't think he's thinking about anybody but himself. I think he's too unsafe to have vendettas because everybody is at his fucking throat for some reason. So
How did you feel he, Natalie, and Jacob sold their points
he, Natalie, and Jacob sold their points. Their points. Can
to
you
not
go?
be the ones voted?
Okay, well, you share your thoughts first. What do you think?
Well, I guess first of all, I did like Jacob's approach to make it seem like, oh, he's gonna have it's either him or Spencer, and they're gonna have all the votes against one of them.
Mm,
So he was gonna vote for Spencer. That was his excuse.
right.
Natalie, on the other hand, was not doing a good job selling herself to anybody.
Right. Yeah, Jacob played it like a master. That's actually a really fucking good idea. Make it seem like, hey, it's me or you, so I'm gonna have to go you. And I think Muna tried to do the same thing, but then she fucked up because it's like, well, then she threw in Natalie and she's like, oh, I'm not gonna vote Natalie because she's from Minnesota. And I'm like, okay, you fucked up. Just go ahead and back up out of that one. Just be real about it at that point. Be like, look, Spencer, I don't really fuck with you like that, so you're gone.
I think Muna made an enemy in this episode.
100%. I mean, if you fucking say you're not gonna vote for somebody because they're from Minnesota, that's the dumbest. That is worse than saying I'm gonna vote for you because I don't fucking like you. That is literally worse. And then Natalie, man, I'm on the fence about her because I was happy that she had her little. I'm happy, like her Josh moment where she had the fire lit under her ass, but like also feeling entitled to the game, about to fucking cry. Like, come on, bitch, you're not out here making moves. Billy told you to play the game, and you're getting mad, and that pissed me off so much because I don't have people, Billy. And it's like, well, bitch, you're not out here trying to make people. Like, come on now. What did you think people were just going to come to you and want an alliance? They don't know you. Like, fucking miss me with like the sense of like entitlement in this game. And I think entitlement's kind of a weird word, but they all just feel like
No, I
they
definitely get what you're saying.
just feel like they deserve it. And it's like you don't. You have to work for it.
There was also during this Brent and Brendan telling Spencer that Rachel is gunning for him to try and get Rachel to be the one voted out.
I
I
didn't
guess because
really.
they felt like Rachel's coming after Brent, which she is.
Right. Oh, I mean, she did say several times that Brent was dead to her, but I think that, you get to a point in the game where if it's not you, don't worry about it. You don't always have to make waves. So I felt like that was really unnecessary. Like, nobody, Brendan's safe, Brent's safe, just go with the majority and where the numbers are. You don't have to try and plant seeds. I didn't really. And then, like, nobody, like, Rachel is just not the person to be targeting. She's the person you want to take to the end? Especially after a shit ass job as detective. I'm not gonna take her
True.
to the end, okay?
Did you have any other thoughts on the whole Muna Spencer conversations, them trying to play emotions with each other?
Fucking Muna, you know, I hear that Muna has this reputation of being this really great, messy player, but right now, to me, she's just doing too much. Like, I feel like she also has an air of like, she just does too much for me right now. Like, her whole, I feel like she's just coming in and doing too much. And she keeps getting lucky and, like, kind of, evading the shit that she's causing. But it's going to catch up to her, especially with this Spencer thing. Like, she should have just been real and been like, honestly, Spencer, I haven't had the moment to really connect with you like that. So I think it's in my best interest for my game. Don't give him some bullshit about Minnesota. Come on.
Uh,
And then to cry and be like, I'm really trying to, like, I'm just really lost. Like, she's doing too fucking much. Relax, girl, relax. And like, she's safe. So like, just say, you know what, I'm gonna go where the numbers go because I can't put myself in a position like that. Position. I can't put myself in a situation like that. So
yeah, she was really just kind of shooting herself in the foot with Spencer for sure.
I like Nick Jonas's little fucking speech to her though. Respectfully, I'm gonna go talk to someone who I can convince. And I was like, oh shit.
Eh,
You didn't like it? You didn't like his little Captain America
I
speech?
didn't like his desperation this whole time.
Poor
It worked,
Spence.
I guess, in a way, but not really. It's just because Natalie was an easy target.
Why did it work? That's what I don't understand. What Marcelo was the swing vote, right? Or no, he wasn't.
He didn't vote for Natalie.
Who was the swing vote?
I should have wrote down the votes, but I didn't.
I feel like fucking Billy was the swing vote, to be honest.
She kind of was.
I thought that was so stupid. That almost made me put Billy down. Like she did this amazing episode, and then she goes and does that dumb shit because you have to know that Natalie's gonna reveal your vote. Come on, man. And like to say, well, oh, I thought you were safe. Like then throw your vote somewhere else then. Like, come on now. Like if everybody's throwing their vote to the person that they think is gonna be safe, then like duh, basic arithmetic would suggest that no, that person's no longer safe. Like, come on, man. I thought that was just so fucking lame.
But were you surprised that Natalie chose Katie and not Billy to go into the battle match?
I thought that was weird. That was very weird. I feel like that to me implies that maybe there's a little bit of redemption, like redemption for Billy and Natalie. Like maybe it's just a stern talking to, and you know they can move beyond it. Natalie's gonna cry, you know, Billy's gonna feed her some bullshit, and you know they're gonna be good. I really do. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I was just wondering why Natalie chose Katie. Was it like just so that she can take out a big target since Katie made herself the self-fulfilling prophecy that you talked about last week?
Yeah, that's a good fucking point. Natalie's not stupid. That's the one thing about it is like she sucks at the game, but she's not stupid as of right now. She sucks at the game, but she's not stupid. So I do think that I don't know again if this is like a jury type of thing, but that's a fucking you took out Katie. Come on now. I have a go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was gonna say I don't feel like that's that big of a deal as Katie wants it to be.
Well, you know, fucking Katie, she's that bitch in the game to her. Like, literally, just to her, she's that bitch. But I have a counter. Do you think that if Katie wins the battle back, it's all good between her and Natalie?
No.
No?
I mean, maybe for a while, but like in the long run, no. And the reason why I think Billy is okay for now through this situation is because, as Natalie said herself, she doesn't have fucking people. So what the fuck is Natalie gonna do?
Right. The worst thing she can do is continue to fucking be on no one's alliance, go to another fucking battle, and then take Billy. That's her only shot at revenge. And she knows
Yeah,
it right now in this moment when she could have just taken Billy in right. So
exactly.
again, that's why I think she was just talking hot shit, you know, like, oh, I'm coming for that ass. But it's like, no, we're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna reason through, and then they're gonna be friends again. And maybe like, you know,
It's
Natalie.
possible. I mean, Billy's social game's good enough to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think Billy's gonna feed her a crock of bullshit and she's gonna lap that shit up because she has no one else, like you said.
Well, any other thoughts on this episode I didn't touch upon? The twist was most of the episode.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I wish that the game would just slow down a little bit, you know, like, and I think you said it perfectly last time where you said that they're all just so used to minis, maybe. So
But also, I'm pretty sure this game is shot in like a week, so that's also why I think it probably rushed.
okay, so if it's shot in a week, then you got to make your alliance within the first 75 seconds. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it though.
yeah,
Oh,
it's entertaining.
are we gonna do predictions?
Yeah, what prediction would you like to make?
I don't know. It's not like we can predict who's gonna win what challenge because we don't know the challenge, do we?
No, but any thoughts about who might be a target. I
Hmm.
mean, I feel like there's a few building up.
Like what? Like who?
Well, Muna for Spencer, Spencer for a lot of people apparently. Natalie versus Billy. I mean, there's a couple different things that could happen. Brent's annoying almost everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to make a prediction because, like I said, the game just moves so quickly.
And there's always a different twist. So
Yeah, I think that what would make me not even like, and I don't want to say respect either, but I think for Muna, I think if she really just played this whole Spencer thing to her advantage, because if it's everyone versus Spencer, right, and Spencer versus Muna, that's a good opportunity for Muna to be like, look, everybody that I fuck with hates you. So your best bet is to work with me and like try and build that relationship. And I just wish Muna, I really want to like her, but I feel like she just does too much for me. I don't know. Can't say what it is.
I mean, I don't feel like she did too much in this episode. I just think her excuses for why she was voting Brent Spencer, all these white kids, I don't know, but the why she was voting Spencer was just not good.
The fake cry was too much. She did a fake teary eye. She did, and I'm like, come on now,
Well,
don't do
he was doing the same thing though. He was trying to play with her emotions, so why can't she
that.
return the favor?
Because just be, I mean, yeah, fuck Spencer. I mean, I actually did like the whole, like, I mean, come on, like, when you're in that situation where your ass is grass, I'm gonna pull out every motherfucking book. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking make a deal. Anything you want me to do. So I
But there's
don't,
no reason you can't fight the emotions with emotions.
right, but she's not in a position where she has to fight, though. You are safe. So just be real. Be like, look, these are my options, and it's best for my game to do this. Because, like you said, she's made an enemy of him. And she made an enemy solely because she fucking lied. I think he would have respected her more if she'd just been like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I didn't really like her emotions versus emotions plan. I think Muna though has a really good sense of the game. I just wish she would just kind of dial it back a little bit. I actually think Muna could be someone that played a little bit more under the radar. Like she doesn't have to be trying to make all these fucking moves because I don't think anybody's really thinking about her like that.
I feel like she's a player that would become a target sooner rather than later.
But if she keeps doing what the fuck she's doing and going out and playing emotions and saying you're not going to vote for people because they're from Minnesota and give these bullshit reasons. Come on now. You're just going to.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't help.
Muna could also, though. Did she vote for Spencer? She ended up voting for Spencer, right?
Probably yes.
Natalie might have some numbers. She could go pull some shit with Natalie too if she wanted. So that's pretty hopeful. No?
Mm. Like in what way? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, Natalie has no one. So if Muna is really ass out, because I mean, come on, she really doesn't have a true alliance, right? I mean, I think Rachel's
I
really
mean, she has allies everywhere.
she has allies everywhere, but if you have allies an ally to everyone is an ally to no one, right?
But I
So
don't think it's everyone.
I think that she has a couple of genuine allies. I think Rachel is a genuine ally. I don't trust Shireen as far as I can fucking.
I think she's a genuine ally for now.
Shireen. Anyways, and I think that she could really pull Natalie in and be like, "Look, sis, I didn't vote for you because she needs to work that." Especially if she gets desperate, or if they send out Natalie's ass right back into a battle and she gets sent with her, be like, Natalie, remember who had your back.
I mean, I don't think Moon is going to be in trouble yet. It's going to depend on the twist, though.
If she would just shut the fuck up and just go with the numbers and just not make waves, I think she can go to the end as well. I think that she's just trying to be too much of her reputation. Like she has this. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like she has this reputation of like, oh, I'm a strong player. Like, what did they say at the beginning? She makes waves. And like that's cool, and maybe that worked for whatever scenario you were in. But now you're playing a different game. So like, take a step back for as long as you can, right? In this like 20-minute fucking game, And maybe have a different approach. Like, just because you're Muna and you fuck shit up, it doesn't mean you have to do it the same way.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why I think that she does too much for me. Is I just feel like she plays a little too hard. And same with a lot of players in this game. It's not just her. I think she's just the most obvious example right now.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of players playing hard.
Like who?
I mean, I feel like Spencer, well, Brent obviously is playing way too hard. Even Spencer's playing hard. I guess he's getting back into the corner. Nobody wants to play with him, but that's just an excuse.
What is your fucking issue with Spencer? Let's just go ahead and dissect this a little bit.
I don't have an issue with Spencer.
You. So let's dissect it.
No, I just had an issue with his desperation in this episode, and his not just. I don't know. He felt. I mean, I get why he was paranoid, but in the end, he didn't have to be as ridiculous as he was acting because he wasn't the person voted in. I don't think he helped himself not get the vote on him. I think it was just Billy throwing the vote.
Right. I don't know that I think I don't know, because if you're in the bottom and I have been on the chopping block many a times, like, you got to do what you got to do, man.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that's true, but I don't like his whiny attitude about it.
You don't like his Captain America
It wasn't very Captain America. I can't think of a good example, but it was whiny. Whatever a whiny superhero is.
He's Nick Jonas. He is. He's Nick Jonas with the fucking whiny ass. I get jealous, Nick Jonas's new songs and shit. He's an emotional guy, Nick. Okay?
Okay, if you say so.
Feelings. I don't get why Spencer is so targeted, though. That's something that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
I just don't understand how he's so targeted.
Yeah, like, who's checking? It's weird because I feel like he is in the position that Katie thinks she is, and it's like, Katie, nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, you can't.
No, I'm just saying, why is he as big as a target as he's making himself out to be? Because in the last episode, it's not like he was this big target.
I mean, he did still get sent in.
Yeah, but it was at the end of the whole game.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember anything about the whole exile thing that happened. I don't remember any of that.
With him?
Yeah, he was like, Muna sent him to exile. I don't remember that. What was that about?
It was because Brent wanted Muna to do that.
Oh, okay. So the exile was the elimination. Okay, sorry. Like, I have a different meaning of exile. Okay. Right. So he's mad because he got sent in. So then he only has two things. He only has two things on his, like, to prove that he's the target. It's just that he got sent to exile once, and then now he's getting sent again. Right. Yeah. I mean, he might be playing the whole woe is me thing a little too much.
Most definitely.
Especially if he's not even ever the target in these types of.
I mean, he definitely wasn't the first episode.
Right. Yeah. I'm hungry.
Any other thoughts and predictions?
No thoughts or predictions. I'm excited to see who's gonna have their. It seems like a lot of, like, moments of redemption. So who's next?
True. Maybe it'll be Rachel. She needs one.
Rachel needs to boss the fuck up. She does. I would love that for her. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me again this week. We'll see if we can do this again next week for Sequester.